Welcome to the Black Book. In the very first video, we showed you the tools, the peptides, the clinical therapy, and the mindset of biological sovereignty. But today, we're going to be showing you how we put it all together. And this is the Phoenix Protocol.
Exactly. The Phoenix Protocol, this is our signature framework for biological transformation. We called it the Phoenix Protocol because just like the mythical bird, you're going to be rising out of the ashes. You're not just healing, but you're being reborn. You're leaving the degraded old biology of the past into a new optimized Phoenix version of yourself.
Exactly. And this is not just one of those like one size fits all programs. We're talking about real medicine. And every protocol that we build is basically just personalized to your unique biology. And not just that, it's also personalized to your specific goals and just your current state. So today we're just going to walk everybody through exactly how we do it.
So let's dive right in. Now, let's start with so Zach, before we can build a protocol, we need to understand where someone is starting from. So what does that diagnostic process look like?
Yeah, so it starts with something we call the diagnostic deep dive. And so like this is not just a normal annual physical where they check your cholesterol and all that type of stuff. This one is so much different because we're looking at over 100 biomarkers across different systems like your hormones, inflammation, gut health, nutrient status, just like so much of that stuff.
For sure. And the way you need to think about it is we're not just testing one thing and seeing the change in that one thing. We need to check everything. If we're comparing this to like a car, for example, we're not just looking to change the oil. We're looking to see in every single part of the car what's going on with the diagnostics that we can run, the engine, the transmission, the electrical system, the fuel injection. That's what we're going to be doing with your body.
Got it. So what are the actual like key markers that we're looking at?
Yeah, so let's just break it down by system, honestly. So for your hormones, we're looking at testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, DHEA, and then just cortisol patterns throughout the day, and also stuff like thyroid function. So not just TSH, but free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies. So most people have never, ever in their life had a comprehensive thyroid panel, but they're walking around with subclinical hypothyroidism, which is very serious. It's destroying their energy and their metabolism every single day.
For sure. And for metabolic function, we're looking at fasting insulin, fasting glucose, hemoglobin A1C, a full lipid panel, including the particle size as well. We want to see if you're actually insulin resistant too. So if you're on the path to diabetes, we'll be able to tell you that sort of thing and how your body is overall handling the energy that it has.
Mm. Yes, and so another one is going to be inflammation. So for that one, we're just measuring sensitivity C-reactive proteins. So that's very important. And then the other one's going to be interleukin 6 and homocysteine. So chronic inflammation, it's just the root of almost every degenerative disease in your body, to be honest. And most people don't even know that they're inflamed until it's way too late to fix it.
Exactly. Gut health is massive. Inflammation is massive as well. But what about gut health? I know that's a huge focus for us.
Yeah, it definitely is. And to be honest, we just have to run comprehensive stool testing to access your microbiome diversity and then just look for pathogens, check for leaky gut markers like uh, zonulin, and just measure digestive enzyme function throughout the entire body because you need to remember that 70% of your immune system is in your gut and 90% of your serotonin is also made there. So if your gut is broken, everything else in your body is just completely compromised.
For sure. And we're also looking at the nutrient state as well. So your vitamin D, B vitamins, magnesium, zinc, omega-3, fatty acids, those are the raw materials that your body needs to function. So if you're deficient in any amount of this, we need to make sure that we're looking at this as well, because if we're looking to actually build that house, that foundation, it's important to have the bricks to build it.
100%. And this level of testing, this is already light years beyond what most people will ever get from their doctor. But we also do genetic testing, right?
Yeah, we do. And we use this genetic testing just to identify specific polymorphisms. And so these are just the variations in your genes, and they affect how you metabolize your hormones, detoxify, respond to stress, and just stuff like that. And so, to give you an example, let's say you have a COMT mutation. So basically, this means you break down adrenaline and dopamine slower than everybody else. So this means you're going to be more prone to anxiety, and you're going to need different interventions when compared to someone without this COMT mutation.
Yes, and that's the power of precision medicine. It's making sure that we're not guessing. It's not going through trial and error. We're not following a generic protocol. It's an individual strategy based on your unique biology. So once we get through this, we can get started with the next phase of transformation.
Let's get into it. So now that we have the data, we can really understand where someone is starting from. But what's going to be the first phase of our Phoenix protocol?
Yep. So looking at phase one, it's all about radical purification. So before we can start to build, we need to clear the rubble. And most people are walking around with a toxic burden that's sabotaging every system in their body. So we can't start to build a high performance body until we look into the foundation and clearing toxic waste.
Mm. Yeah, so basically, this phase is just about removing all the obstacles that you have so that you could heal your body. And so we're targeting three main areas, and these are gonna be environmental toxins, gut dysfunction, and chronic infections.
Got it. So let's start with the environmental toxins. What are we talking about here?
Alright, so we're talking about endocrine disruptors. So chemicals like BPA, uh, phthalates, PFAs that are in your food, so your water, your personal care products, and just your entire house. So these are the chemicals that mimic your hormones, and they basically just block your hormone receptors. So they're literally basically just hijacking your endocrine system.
For sure. And we've seen through research that the average person is exposed to over 140 of these chemicals every single day. They accumulate in our tissue, our body, our organs, our brain. And it's why we have people that are underperforming and feel like they don't really have their energy. They can't lose weight. They have brain fog. So it's a lot of different issues that people are experiencing because of this consistent daily exposure to all of these chemicals.
Exactly. So I guess like given that everyone's so poisoned, how do we actually purify the system?
So yeah, we're gonna actually have to use a collection of strategies. So I would say the first one's gonna be reduce your exposure. So you're gonna be switching to clean water, clean food, and just non-toxic personal care products. And then we're going to support your body's natural detoxification pathways. So we're going to be optimizing liver function with nutrients. And so some of these nutrients are going to be NAC, uh, glutathione, and milk thistle. So we're going to support kidney function and lymphatic drainage. We're going to do this by using specific binders like activated charcoal and bentonite clay to help pull toxins straight out of your gut.
Okay, hold on. Can we pause there? Like, so so you got to make sure we pronounce everything properly, um, because otherwise it's not going to work.